Well, President Trump is seeking a cure-all drug for COVID-19, but according to the National Institutes of Health, one of his favorites, hydrochloroquine, may not be the actual answer. The federal agency, which is led in part by Dr. Anthony Fauci, issued new guidelines on potential coronavirus treatments last night. The NIH says that there's currently no proven drug to help COVID-19 patients. That includes hydroxychloroquine. That's an anti-malaria drug the president has pushed in the past. Sarah Owermohle is a healthcare reporter covering drug policy and the industry for Politico. She joins me now from Washington. Sarah, what more do we know about these new guidelines from this NIH panel?
Right. Well, it's the first time that they've issued these guidelines at all. And like you said, they have emphasized that no one medication has any evidence right now to suggest that it definitively is right for coronavirus. When it comes to hydroxychloroquine, which the president has touted from the press briefing stage quite frequently, they actually recommended against using that with an antibiotic outside of clinical trials. And that flies in the face of what he has been recommending. He has stressed that this is already on the shelves for other things and people can go to their doctor for it right now. And that because it's been out for a long time, we know that it's safe. That's untrue. One of the reasons that they're saying to only use it in clinical trials is because we know that it can actually aggravate heart problems, especially when it's paired with that antibiotic. And actually what we've learned at Politico, we've been tracking how often he brings up drugs on the press briefing stage, and he's quieted down about hydroxychloroquine for the past week as data trickles out.
We know the president wants some sort of a swift treatment for COVID-19, and you report on how this so-called wild, wild west approach has been really a game changer for drug makers. What do you think it is that drug companies are doing differently in this age of corona, and how has the president played into all of that?
Well, it's really been notable. So drug companies have always released randomized clinical trial data when it is ready. That would be from phase 1 or phase 2, but this goes far beyond that. So one of the drug makers that is developing a medication that might work, Gilead, which is making remdesivir, published anecdotal results last week that earned a little bit of criticism. Also, Johnson & Johnson, which is developing one of the vaccine possibilities, has started a new mini-series that is sort of trying to bring people through the process, but critics have said that it's this sort of slick production that's advertising their potential, and it seems to be working for them. The president has brought up both of those products on the press briefing stage in the past few days. What is really interesting and unprecedented right now is that we've never had this moment of focus like this, and we've never had the president speaking every night about what he sees as possibilities. And because we're in a pandemic, everybody is hungry for information. So in a way, it makes sense to publish data as soon as you have it. But the problem is it could be stirring false hope, especially when these are not definitive numbers.
What kind of pressure do you think this puts on the FDA, and what concern do lawmakers and experts have?
Yeah, that's certainly been a concern. A lot of people are saying that because of this focus that the president has, because he's bringing this up on the press briefing stage so frequently, there could be, whether intentional or not, some pressure on the FDA to move fast and to maybe go faster with less data than it would in the past when it comes to approving these things. One of the things people point to is the fact that FDA last month authorized an emergency use for hydroxychloroquine despite there being mixed data about that drug. And since then, actually, some more negative data is possibly coming out. And so while that is anecdotal, it points to why we really don't know much about this drug's effectiveness. What FDA, for their part, has said is that they're still making science-based decisions, but they do know that there is a lot of focus on them, and there's a lot of focus on the now dozens of products in the pipeline.
Sarah Owermohle, I want to thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.